might be getting ready for audition season, having had an unsuccessful audition season last year, or you might have even auditioned over multiple years and not had a successful turnout, and you've only got as far as recall rounds. And I've got quite a few coaching clients who are in the same boat, and they are re-auditioning for drama school again. But there is this funny thing that happens when I ask certain people, what audition material have you got? What speeches are you going to use? And they tell me that they are going to use the same material that they've used before. And they justify this by saying, and I quote, they worked for me before. And I kind of just narrow my eyes in sort of disbelief, and I resist the urge to tell them what is in fact the truth. If the speech worked for you in the past, then you'd be at drama school by now, but you're not, so it didn't. And I think there are too many people heading into audition season with the belief that the speech is the thing that is going to win them the day. And whilst yes, your speech is a massive component within your audition season, it is not the be all and end all. It is not the thing that is going to get you a place on the course. So why do actors have this belief? Well, the first thing is, when you used that speech, you got a recall. But that logic is exactly the same logic as the lucky shirt theory. You know, the one when you wear your lucky football shirt or your special pair of underwear, or you sit in a specific place on the sofa to watch your favorite football team play. And you do this because you believe that the shirt or the underwear or the place on the sofa is the thing that is going to win the football team the match. That they have some kind of magic ability, and your superstition dictates that if you don't wear that shirt or that pair of underpants, or if you don't sit on the sofa in that particular place, then your football team is destined to lose. Sorry to break it to you, but that is bullshit. If your team did happen to win whilst you were wearing your lucky shirt or your pants or you're sat in the sofa, it's not down to that. It's down to the skill of the team on the pitch, the environment, the circumstances, the weakness of the opposition, and a ton of other variables that you have no control over. And they all came together in this perfect storm, and they granted the team the win. So please believe me when I say that it was not in any way to do with the shirt. And the same is true for your speeches. Just because you got a recall using that speech doesn't mean that the speech got you the recall. And that does such a disservice to you, your work, and the panel, quite frankly. Again, it will have been down to a whole host of factors and variables, from how confident you felt on the day, to how the panel received your creative work, the caliber of the other actors that were auditioning alongside you, and so much more. It wasn't the speech, it's what you do with the speech that actually makes a difference. Now, of course, if you feel confident with that speech, then that is going to rub off in the audition room. I'm not denying that. And your confidence with the speech can play into the outcome. But that is your confidence, not the speech. And you can find confidence with loads of speeches. What you need to do is actually just kill your darlings and leave last year's speech alone. So it seems like I'm keen on you choosing speeches for each audition season that you take part in. So why, if the speech isn't the thing that actually makes a difference, am I encouraging you to choose a new speech each year? Doesn't that seem like the text actually does have something to do with it? And yes, that's right, kind of. Again, it isn't the speech, it's your mindset with the speech, and what repeating material actually says about you to the audition panel. In terms of mindset, you might be bringing expectations of, this speech worked for me last year, so I don't need to put in that much effort. It's there for me, it's a sure thing, so you don't have to try hard. And that will make you lazy, and you'll drift over the detail, and that will cause you to not put in the same amount of work that you need to get a different result, and that is not going to work out for you. Also, the audition panel are going to have records. If you've auditioned for them before, they will have a record of when you auditioned, what their notes were, what audition pieces you actually chose, and if they see that you haven't even bothered to read another play, research another speech, and bring it to life, then they're going to have alarm bells ringing instantly. Because why should they go to all of the effort of watching a self-tape or watching you live in person and giving their time and their energy and their feedback when you can be bothered to pick up a new script? It's the bare minimum, and it is not good enough. Using what you deem to be successful material morphs your awareness and puts blinders on you. You believe you will get the same outcome, or worse still, still that you will get better outcomes. And when in history have you ever seen an example of somebody doing the same thing again and again and again and getting better results? There's always adaptation, there's always improvement, there is always a change of tactic. Now, you might be repeating material because you're struggling to find new material, or you don't know where to look for new material, or you don't have the time to search for new material. And this is a big deal, and it's something that I see a lot of people struggling with. It is very, very common. And if you are in that same boat, then a really effective fix for that is signing up to my online platform, which is act.cool. On there, we've got speech lists of literally hundreds of contemporary and classical speech suggestions, so you don't have to look any further afield, and you know for a fact, you can rest assured that they are audition appropriate. So if this sounds interesting to you, then all of the details for signing up are in the description box below. Now, the choice to just repeat material might not be down to the lucky shirt theory, and it might not be down to the lazy guy theory. It might just be down to scarcity mindset and risk aversion. Thinking that you are running such a huge risk because audition season only comes around once a year and you've only got one stab at it, you think that you are bound to fail unless you stick to what you know and what has proven to give you favorable results in the past. Because all new things are scary. So why should you shy away from having a fresh new perspective with fresh new material? To me, this is self-explanatory. Unsuccessful results give you data or information for how you should change, adapt, improve, and evolve for next time. You need to come up with a new plan of attack, a new material, and a new way of actually navigating this. If you want better results, that's what you need to do. But what the scarcity mindset and risk aversion force you to do is thinking that if unsuccessful results happen, instead of analyzing why, you bury your head in the sand and you keep doing exactly what you've been doing before because it's the only thing that you know. And deviating from that is incredibly scary, and it pushes the risk up through the roof. But all that is going to be doing is keeping you exactly where you are. There's no evolution, there's no expansion, there's no growth, there's no learning. So you get the same results again, which is unsuccessful. Now, I'm not saying that you need to change everything, because yes, there was something about your original audition that got you from first stage to recall. But believe me when I say that it wasn't the text that you used. There was something about what you did in the audition room that made the audition panel go, that's interesting, we like that, we want to see that at recall stages. So those are the things to maintain, not the speech. And also, you should want to be exploring new texts. You should be reading plays. It's like someone saying that they want to be a world-class chef, but all they cook and all they're interested in eating and all they like is toast. Are you serious? If you have no desire to find new material and you're not interested in reading plays, then I would respectfully ask you whether you truly love this career direction, this industry, and you actually want to be an actor. Because I'm sorry, I wouldn't want a chef who only has a desire for toast heading up a Michelin star restaurant. Okay, now in the end, there is no set formula. There is no lucky speech, and there is no evidence to support you doing the same thing and getting different results. So my advice is to stop believing that your dusty old speech is going to be the thing that wins you the day. Leave it alone, find new material. Figure out what actually got you the recall in the first place and capitalize on that. And figure out what actually held you back so you know what to improve on. Fresh new year, fresh new start, fresh new material. Now I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you sign up to act.cool because there are so many resources, so many tools, so many training videos, speech lists, and a really lovely like-minded community of other actors doing the same audition process that you are. So if you're interested, make sure that you sign up below. But until next time,